Okay, so today's topic is exploring the inner self, and we'll be understanding what is temporary and what is permanent by a trivial activity. I'll give you an activity to do, and then you can answer. Okay, it should be an interactive session. Now we'll understand what is temporary, what is permanent through common sense, first of all. Okay, through common sense or logic. Now let me ask you, or let me instruct you. Please raise your left hand. Everybody, okay. Very simple, no? No doubt, nothing. Raise your right hand. Okay, very clear. Point to your nose. Okay, you're confused. Where is it? Okay, point to your nose. Point to your ears. Point to your stomach. Okay, point to your body. Now let me ask you a question. Point to yourself. Okay, there's some people confused completely. What is body? What is yourself? And it is same or is it different? So in one of the Gita courses, my mentor was asking the same question, and then one person was doing. He asked. He told, "Point to your body." Then he was doing like this, and then he told, "Next question. Point to yourself." It was very funny actually. Everybody was laughing. So whatever anyways, so we don't have this idea, this clarity that what do you mean by body, what do you mean by yourself or myself. Hmm. Let's understand this with one more example. So when we say my laptop, hmm, or my phone, my laptop, it simply means that laptop is different from me, right? It's clear. Similarly, when I say my body, then my body should be different from me. Then the question comes, who is me? Where is me in this picture? Huh? This is logic, common sense. Where is me? Then another maybe some common sense we can take. One example that, let's say a person has died. Let me take a foreign name. I'll not take any name. Maybe somebody गलती से कोई नाम ले लिया तो बोलेगा मेरे बारे में बोल. So yeah, I don't want to. Let's. Some people are really offended when we talk about death. निकल जा बाहर यहाँ से. अभी कल हम लोग बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए जाते हैं. So people get really offended when we talk about death, right? Even my mother was saying शुभ शुभ बोलो. ऐसे अशुभ नहीं बोलना चाहिए. शुभ शुभ बोलो. You should talk about auspicious things. Don't talk about death. Okay, so let's say Michael has died. Hmm. Nobody's Michael here, right? Okay. Huh? Okay. So Michael has died, and then let's say when the Michael has died, and let's say the family members come, how will the family members? How basically the message will be passed? How, what will we say? That Michael has left, huh? Or Michael has passed away. The very common statement. Huh? Michael has passed away. This person has passed away. Very common statement. So, and some other, in other, like for example, if we want to ask, where is Michael's body kept? Do we ask like this, where is Michael kept? Never, na? We always ask, where is Michael's body kept or dead body kept? Huh? And similarly, we ask like this, when will Michael's body be cremated? Huh? We never ask like this, when will Michael be cremated? Have you seen somebody asking like this? Where is Michael kept? Where is Michael? When will Michael be cremated? No. When will Michael's body be cremated? Or where is Michael? What to say? Sorry, Michael has passed away. Or where is Michael's body now? Hmm? So, with the common sense, we can understand that even in the language, we are convinced that we are not the bodies. It means Michael is not the body. There was something inside or within the body which has left, or who has left. Hmm? And Michael's body is there in front of us. Still, why are we saying that Michael has left, Michael has passed away? Hmm. Please come forward. Okay. Right? So there is some entity which is within the body which we are talking about, that he has left. Now the body is still kept. Still, if let's say I go and convince the family members, let's say the wife of Michael and the children of Michael, I say, Michael is there in front of you. Why are you crying? Michael is there. Your father is there, Baba. Your father is there. Your husband is there. But still, will they be convinced with this statement? Yes or no? No. Why? Because they are also convinced that Michael is not there, although the body is present. Huh? So that's why there is some entity, even in our common sense, in our logical understanding also, we are convinced about this fact that there is some entity which is within the body who has left. Now the body, Michael is not conscious. The body is not conscious. Hmm? So that's why in our Shastra it is very, very clear. Although now the modern science doesn't talk about it, very, very unfortunate situation. But the Shastra, the Vedic scriptures are very clear. Even the Bhagavad Gita is very clear in this. We'll see today that we are not the bodies. We are spirit souls we are within the body, but we are not the body. So if I tell you two statements, which will be correct? I am this body, or I have this body. I have this body. Why? So who is I here? Soul. So I is soul. So actual personality, actual person is soul, the spirit soul. That's what Bhagavad Gita is very clear about in the second chapter only. And today we'll discuss that. Okay. So through common sense logic, we can understand this. Okay. Now we'll understand from the Bhagavad Gita itself, very, very scientifically, and we'll see one verse. Today's fundamental or basis is one verse, one shloka of Bhagavad Gita, and that will be very, very deep. We'll see how deep Bhagavad Gita is. One verse we can dig into one verse of Bhagavad Gita so nicely. Just forget about other verses. There are 700 verses in Bhagavad Gita, right? So let's chant the shloka. It is from the second chapter, verse number 13. Very famous shloka actually. So I'll recite, you can repeat after me. Okay. Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara तथा देहांतर प्राप्ति धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति. Can somebody read the translation loudly?
As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at times. The sober person is not bewildered by such a change.
Yeah. Yes, it's from second chapter, verse number 13. Okay. Now, okay, don't be bewildered about the whole translation. We'll split it into 4 parts, and that will be today's discussion. Okay. First part we'll see today. Now. So what is highlighted? Sorry, the bolded part and the underlined part is the second. In the first line, the second phrase. Kaumaram Yauvanam Jara. Okay. What do we mean by Kaumaram? Kaumar, youth, unmarried, young, right? Or boyhood, we can say boyhood. Yauvanam, when we say Yauvan, what is Yauvan? Adulthood, when a person has become adult. And when we say Jara, what is Jara? Old age, right? So now from here it is very clear that, and from the translation, the bolded words we can read, the soul continuously passes in this body. Let's say current body, I am in this body now. So the soul passes from what? From boyhood to youthhood to old age. Only this much we'll see now. Is this a fact or not? Right? Now let me ask you this question here. Let's name the personalities. I'll show you these pictures. Let's name these personalities and tell me, okay, who are these personalities? Maybe you can tell me the names. First one. Then, okay. Einstein, okay. Nelson Mandela. Roger Federer, okay. Steve Jobs. Barack Obama. Huh? Oprah. Who said? Oprah Winfrey. Okay. Okay. No. Queen Elizabeth. Okay. So I think you know. Now I'll give you a tough question. Things are not easy every time in life. Okay. So I'll show you now same personalities. Okay. I'll not change the personality. Don't think that I'm cheating here. Okay. I'm not cheating. So I'll show you the same personalities pictures, but not I'll show you these pictures also, but I'll also show you the childhood photos, the boyhood or the girlhood, or what do you say? I don't know. So the Kaumaram and then Yauvanam and old age also, Jara. Okay. So we'll try to see if you will be able to identify. Okay, who is this personality? Oh, sorry. Yeah, the first row, same person, but from the childhood photo, there's a childhood photo, then maybe a little more older when he grew older, then little more older. So the first personality, who is he? Ah, Albert Einstein. Okay, very nice. Second one, okay, let's see. And then third one, hold on. Take the deep breath and okay, let's see whether your answers are correct. We don't have any gift, by the way, but what to do? Okay, but we have nice prasads. Okay, so first one is Albert Einstein. Second one is Queen Elizabeth. Third is Roger Federer. Okay, you're correct. Now let's the second set of pictures. This one, Nelson Mandela. Very clear, actually. Okay, and then okay, and then if I would have not given the third picture with hat, would you be able to identify, or only the first photo? Would you be able to? I don't know, right? Okay, yeah. So these answers are correct. Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, and Barack Obama. Now let me ask you this question: when you were seeing these photos, were you contemplating about it that in some cases or most of the cases, the face has completely changed, right? Is it a fact? Huh? Sometimes we may not be able to even understand or identify the personality. If you look at the very childhood photo, and even I'm not able to understand my photo, like it'll be bewildering sometimes. Just so much face has changed. If you talk about the old age, it'll be completely changed. Huh? So what do we observe here? When we saw in that sloka, so the body is continuously passing from boyhood to youthhood and old age. Even there is scientific research that every 7 years, 6 to 7 years, all the cells of the body get changed, completely changed. Now, in one way, we can say I'm a new person now. See, I was having some set of cells, and all the cells got changed. Can I say that I'm a same person? Logically or scientifically, no. Biologically, also, we cannot say that I'm the same person, right? I've completely changed. Every 7 years, I'm changing. I'm changing. The body is changing, basically. And there's also one very nice fact that when a baby is born, how many bones he has? 260. Okay, 300. Around 300. And when he grows up little bit, how many bones he has? An adult, let's say. 200 plus little bit, huh? 206 or whatever. किसी किसी की हड्डी टूट जाती है तो ज़्यादा भी हो सकता है बट इतना नहीं टूटेगा कि 300 हो जाए है ना इट नॉट ब्रेक सो मच दैट पूरी बॉडी में फ्रैक्चर होना पड़ेगा फिर तो कि आई मेक 300 bones टक 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 it'll not happen maybe 2 3 fractures might be there and then okay so now can you imagine the bones have completely changed have completely transformed into 200 bones 300 is transforming into 200 so much of transformation is going on so much of change is going on but do we say Michael, now when he grows up, he becomes Robert. No, na? Aadhaar card पे भी same नाम रहता है. Isn't it? Isn't it right? So the identity remains the same. Person's name remains the same. Barack Obama will be Barack Obama. In the childhood also and अब document में नाम change हो गया तो पता नहीं. Many times in India this happens actually. There is some other name, real name, and then we have document name in India. Many times it happens. But okay, that is another thing. But at least the identity will remain same, will be same, right? It will not change. The person will remain same. So that's why we have to understand this, that what is that which is keeping the identity same, although the body is changing completely. Can we close this window actually? This first one, there's a lot of noise coming. Others are okay. Thank you. So, what is that which is keeping the identity same, although the body is completely changing and changing and changing? What is that? That is spirit soul. The soul is same within the body, same soul from the birth till the old age, but body is completely changing. That's what we saw in the verse, the Kaumaram Yovaram Jara. Now we'll see the second aspect out of four. So let's see the underlying part again. This is the second aspect of that verse. Dehi no asmin yatha dehe. Now there are two words here. What is that? Dehi and dehe or deha. Okay. So dehi means the soul. Deha means the body. So in the deha, the dehi is residing or taking shelter. The dehi, the soul is taking shelter of the deha, the body. Okay. So now what this verse is saying, the dehi with the soul, embodied soul, the spirit soul, is observing continuous change in the deha, the body. The body is continuously changing from boyhood to youthhood to old age, your kaumaram, yavaram, jara. But dehi is same. See, dehi, there is no change mentioned for dehi here, the soul here. There is no change mentioned here. But the body, for the body, the change is mentioned. That the body is changing. But soul is same. That's what the verse is saying here. Now, let me ask you this question. When we talk about body, how many bodies do we have? One body. Okay. How many of you say one body? Maybe if we ask this question, okay, very few people. How many of you say two bodies? I have two bodies currently. So I'm two personalities. Huh? Huh? Okay, forget about soul. Let's say soul is separate. Now body, we are talking about only the body, the deha. How many deha or how many bodies we have? One. Everybody? Are you sure? Okay. Sometimes we ask this question to the unmarried youth boy. He'll say, "We are two personalities, two bodies, but we are one." So much of emotion, right? But we are not talking about emotion here. We are talking about the fact, the tattva, right? So basically, we'll see from the verse itself. First of all, we'll be seeing that actually there are two bodies. Two bodies we have currently. I also have two bodies. He also has two bodies. He also has two. Everybody has two bodies currently, right now. What are those two bodies? Let's understand from the pictorial diagram. It'll be easy to understand because picture, no? Photo. So we have the soul. Oh, sorry, we are the soul, right? I am the soul. There are two coverings over the soul, the bodies basically. First is the subtle body, and second is gross body. Now these are two types of bodies. First is subtle and second is gross. Now I'm not joking here. ऐसा है कि मैंने खुद से create कर दिया है. Now it's my, I'm presenting a theory today. I'm publishing a paper in this conference. No. This is a fact which even Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, from in the seventh chapter. So we'll see that verse here. So let's recite this verse. Bhumirapo nalo vayuhu khammano buddhirev cha ahankara iti yamme भिन्ना प्रकृतिरष्टधा. Now you can see there are 8 different words here: earth, water, fire, air, ether, then mind, intelligence, and false ego. Now there are two underlined parts: the first set and the second set. Now, okay, what this verse is saying, Krishna is saying, all together these are 8, right? These 8 constitute my separated material energies. All these constitute my material energies, matter, material energies. Now we have divided into two parts: the 8, first 5, and the second part is 3. The set of 5 elements, material elements, and set of 3 elements. What are the first 5? Earth. Okay, what is earth from the Sanskrit, from the words? Bhumi. Okay. Water? जल. बट यहाँ जल तो है नहीं. बैंगलोर में जल नहीं है मुझे पता, बट यहाँ तो है. What is water here? Apo. Apah. Okay. Then fire. Anala. Anala, right? The third word, anala. Then air. Vayuhu. Then where is ether? Calm. It's not calm. It's come. Okay, come. KHM, come. Okay, so these are the first 5 material elements, or we can say gross elements. We saw, right? We'll be seeing actually 5 gross elements are there, and 3 subtle elements are there. Now, what are the 3 subtle elements? Mind, intelligence, and false ego. Are these subtle? Why do you say subtle? Subtle means sukshma. We cannot see, but we can perceive. Huh? So that's why we can just summarize here. Now we are talking about two bodies here, right? Two bodies. What are those two bodies? Subtle and gross. Or Hindi mein we can say sthul sharir. I'm sorry, subtle is sukshma, and in Hindi we say gross as sthul. स्थूल सूक्ष्म एंड स्थूल ओके इट्स ओके फॉरगेट अबाउट इट आई नो हियर यहाँ सब अंग्रेज बैठे हैं तो ओके सो नो प्रॉब्लम सो gross and subtle right now we'll classify the 8 elements into gross and subtle. We have already done that. So please tell me where will earth be? Gross. So earth, then water, wine. Who was saying wine? Oh, वायु अच्छा अच्छा वाइन मैं डर गया था यहाँ पे वाइन कहाँ से आ गया मतलब कृष्णा नेवर सेड वाइन इन द भगवद गीता समटाइम्स ऐसा होता है ना व्हाट्सएप में देयर सम मैसेजेस भगवद गीता सेज दिस उसमें ऐसा वर्ड्स होता है जो कभी है ही नहीं भगवद गीता में सो पीपल वी गेट एस्टोनिश्ड कहाँ से आए भगवद गीता मतलब इसने खुद बोला है क्या कंसिडरिंग आई एम भगवान आई एम स्पीकिंग राइट नो सो इट्स वेरी डेंजरस व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटीज आई एम लर्निंग भगवद गीता फ्रॉम व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी पीपल आर प्राउडली सेइंग दिस these days. So, but we have to understand from bona fide sources. Just joking. I didn't hear correctly. Okay, so water, then fire, air, and ether. Okay, so these are the gross elements. Or we say panch means 5. Panch Mahabhut. You have heard Panch Mahabhut? So these are the 5 gross elements. Huh? Ether is, we can say, the space. The space, in simple words. Sky or space, whatever. Sky is a very we cannot say sky because it's a part of the space, but yeah, space in general. So everything exists in the ether, right? Because everything exists in the space. So okay, so these are the 5, and then subtle. Please hold on your questions. I know there'll be a lot of urge ki puchta hu, but please hold on. We'll take at the end. Okay, all the questions. Okay, so mind, intelligence, and false ego are the 3 subtle elements. Material, these are material. Okay. Now you understand, right? What is subtle? Why we call it subtle? How many of you are troubled by the mind? Everybody, ना? कुछ लोग ऐसे उठा नहीं रहे हाथ कि पता नहीं मेरी बेइज्जती हो जाएगी. I am such a stable person, Mind doesn't trouble me at all. I'm always stable. अच्छा, how many of you are intelligent? I know you are humble, but still, everybody is intelligent. That's why you are here, right? Otherwise, how will you come here to understand Bhagavad Gita? How many of you feel that others have ego? What about me? Do I have ego? But we always feel that that person has a lot of ego. Let me break his false ego today. बताता हूँ उसको तोड़ूंगा आज मैं उसको अच्छे से. So that's how we always perceive these 3 entities: mind, intelligence, false ego. But we cannot see that. That's why they are subtle. Okay, so mind always works on the principle of likes and dislikes. Mind will say, I like this, I don't like this, that's it. How will intelligence work? Sorry? Logically, okay. Logically means, okay, this is right, this is wrong, correct, incorrect, legal, illegal, all those things. Once a diabetic person went to a marriage. His doctor last week, he went to a doctor, a diabetic person, right? Doctor said, never take sweets again. Okay. Now this person was called in a marriage. An Indian marriage, right? Full buffet will be there, and then lot of items. And this is an Indian mentality that will start from the first and will take everything. Not even a single dish I'll leave today. And then finally he comes. Already there is no space in the plate. He makes a Govardhan on the plate. So yesterday I was seeing the one video that how a person climbed a mountain, Mount Everest, and then he got avalanche happened, and then he got stuck. So many people cannot climb the mountain. So at least let's make the mountain. Let's climb on my plate only. All right. So he just made a mountain, and then he was in the urge to take more and more. So finally he went to the sweets section, and then he saw gulab jamun. So now he immediately remembered, डॉक्टर ने कहा है कि मत खाना, मर जाएगा. If you want to live, don't eat. Don't even touch. Don't even think about gulab jamun. So then he was telling, my mind was telling, "Arey, ek baar, last time. Today is the last time, then I will never touch." Now just imagine, mind is saying, take it, Baba, last time. And intelligence saying, no, 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 मर जाएगा. मरना चाहता है क्या पागल? मत ले, मत खा, don't take, don't take. Now just ask yourself, if we were in that situation, so much of urge from the mind, from the senses, urge, the craving is there, but mind, intelligence saying, no, 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 don't take, don't take. Now it depends, right? The mind is stronger, intelligence is strong. Now he will suffer or he will enjoy, and I don't know what will happen next. So that's why it is very important to understand whether our mind is becoming more stronger than the intelligence, or intelligence is overcoming the mind. Hmm? We'll see actually. So very, very important to understand these subtle aspects also. There's a dedicated session, Mind Your Mind, to understand how the mind works. What is mind, how it works, and how to control it. That's the later thing. So we'll see that elaborately in Mind Your Mind, but you have to come for that. Okay. So Bhagavad Gita also talks about these are 8 material elements, right? Krishna told here that these 8 are my what? Spiritual or material? Material, matter, material elements. Now, what about spiritual? What about us, the souls, the spirit soul? So that also is covered in the next verse. This one. So let's recite this. अपरयमितस्त्वन्याम् प्रकृतिं विद्धि मे पराम् जीवभूतां महाबाहो ययेदं धार्यते जगत्. So can anybody read the translation loudly? Anybody?
Besides these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there are another superior energy of mind, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature.
Now it is very clear here in this verse that material is different and spiritual is different. Both are different. Otherwise, this verse would have said, right, that material or spiritual or operation. No, it's and here. That there is one superior energy also. Why Krishna is saying another? Because he has already told in the previous verse material energy, that these 8 are my material energies, 8 elements, material elements, 5 gross and 3 subtle. But now he's talking about the spiritual energy. And what are those? The living entities. Jiva. This word is coming, right? Jiva Bhuta. Jiva Bhuta means the living entities, the living beings who have consciousness. Hmm? So those are my spiritual energy. And those living entities are continuously trying to exploit what? My material energy. Is it happening or not? We are always trying to exploit. Always trying to exploit. So that is what happening. So it's very clear here that superior energy or spiritual energy is different and material energy is different. And who is spirit? What is spiritual energy? We, the spirit souls. We are spiritual. That's why it's called spirit. Spirit means spiritual. Okay. Now, maybe we'll skip this. Now we'll go to the third aspect. Okay. Yeah. So third aspect is tatha dehantara prapti. So what is the bold bold words in the English here translation? The soul similarly passes into another body at death. Now we'll talk about the death. What happens actually after death or at the time of death? So here the verse is saying that the soul is there in the current body. Let's say now I'm in the current body, right? And the soul is there. And let's say the body is changing. The current body is changing from boyhood to youthhood. Now I've become old. Now my organs are starting to dwindle. ऐसे हिल रहे हैं, जबरदस्ती ड्रैग कर रहा हूँ उनको. किडनी फेल हो रही है, लीवर बाइल जूस निकल नहीं रहा है अच्छे से, बाइल पैंक्रियाज में काम हो नहीं रहा है ना, इंटेस्टाइन्स बंद हो गई हैं. And then the whole organ, the whole body is going down, right? Now I'm just approaching my death. Just imagine that. Now what will happen? At some point of time, the whole body will stop working, right? Now the body is deteriorating, damaging. At some point of time, the whole body will stop working. Then what will happen? At that moment, the soul will pass into another body. Here, that's what it is saying. Tatha dehantara prapti. Prapti means prapt, to to get something. What is the soul getting? Deha antara. Deha means what? Body. We have seen, right? Deha. And antara means antar. Antar means change. Change or different. So now it's a different body which the soul is entering into. It's a change in the complete body only. Now the body, soul was there in the current body, the same body, and the body was changing. The same body was changing from, the current body was changing from boyhood to youthhood to old age. Now a body जब बची नहीं काम के लिए, then what will happen? The body is useless. It's like when the clothes are useless, what will we do? We just throw it off. But India में India में there is a tendency to use every piece of cloth. Maybe some clothes will use for washing the vehicle. Some clothes, let's say my banyan, will use for pocha. The dhoti is very very nice actually. We can use it. It's multi-purpose actually. We can use it to cover our body. We can use it to wear the dhoti. Once it tears torn, then we can use it for pocha. और पोछा भी अगर नहीं बचा तो मे बी गाड़ी साफ करने के लिए कर लेंगे, कुछ तो कर लेंगे. विल डू समथिंग. मे बी किचन में थोड़ा सा शेल्फ साफ करने के लिए, विंडो साफ करने के लिए यूज कर लेंगे. So in India, there is a tendency to utilize, but when it is completely useless, what can we do? We have to throw it away, right? Similarly, the soul, when the body is completely useless, now it has stopped working at all. What the soul will do, it will not be able to reside in that body. Just leave. Just leave. So soul will come out of that body, and what will happen? ऐसे खत्म हो जाए, soul ऐसे ऐसे निकली, finished. Will that happen? No. Here it is clearly said that it will pass into another body, right? Another body. So the soul will get new body, new gross body. Now let me ask you this question: what will happen to the subtle body? We have two bodies, right? Now I can play with you. What will happen to the subtle body now?
Get again converted into all the early elements.
ओ मतलब सटल बॉडी ऐसे माइंड ऐसे ऐसे डिसॉल्व हो रहा है, ऐसे मिट्टी में मिल जा रहा है, ऐसा हो गया. अच्छा, माइंड सोल के साथ निकल जाएगा. ओके, ही इज सेइंग दैट सटल बॉडी विल, mind will also come out of from this body, the soul existence, go with the soul. Okay, how many of you agree with this, or maybe don't agree? How many of you agree with this, that subtle body will also go away with the soul? Part, okay, which part? Oh, ego will go.
Some part of it.
Okay, some part. Okay, how many of you say that all the three subtle elements, the mind, intelligence, false ego, everything, the whole subtle body basically will go with the soul? How many of you say this? Acha. Okay, how many of you say that subtle body dissolve ho jayega? Yeah, no, it will not go away. It will stay back. Huh? Destroy. Okay, he's saying it will be destroyed. Subtle body will also be destroyed with the gross body. How many of you agree with this? Oh, many people. Okay. Okay. But actually, the subtle body also goes with the soul. Now we'll understand. We'll be convinced with this when in the next slide actually, that how the subtle body also goes away. Very with a common sense we'll understand. With some observation we'll understand. Okay. So we'll also understand with a nice diagram, the same diagram which we saw, but with an animation here. Okay. So we have the soul. Sorry, I am the soul. I am the soul. The red part. Okay. I have two coverings. What are the two coverings? Subtle and gross. So the the white one is the soul. Then we have two bodies, the subtle red one and the blue one is the gross body. Two coverings over the soul. Now at the time of death, let's say the death comes now. What will happen is, kya hua ye? What happened? Subtle body is gone, right? But where it is gone? Okay, there is another gross body waiting. Another new baby body, gross body is waiting, so that soul can leave and then enter into that new gross body. Okay, the green one is the new gross body. Now what will happen to the subtle body and soul? Acha, gross body is gone, blue part was gone, right? What was the blue part? gross. So gross body was destroyed. Now it may be cremated, it may be ऐसे दफना दिया, कुछ कर दिया, या ऐसे पानी में फेंक दिया, कुछ भी मतलब whatever, you know. But it got destroyed. Hmm. But what happened to the subtle body here? What happened to the soul and subtle body? हाँ क्या जॉइंटिस हो गया? Okay, joined with the new body, or we can say entered into the new gross body. The green is new gross. Blue one was the previous gross body. Jo it got old, right? And it got destroyed, died. So Michael died. Now Michael's body was dead. But the soul and the subtle, the red part is subtle body, both came out from the previous gross body and together they entered into new gross body. Now again we have gross, subtle and soul again. But what got changed? Only the gross body got changed. Subtle body same. Hmm? Now we'll understand this through a very nice scientific proof, which is mystery of reincarnation. Reincarnation, okay. So Dr. Ian Stevenson, he was a very very famous professor of psychiatry in University of Virginia. Okay, so obviously now he's not there. His gross body has finished, but he's there somewhere with his subtle body now. We don't know where, but he's there. So he actually worked throughout his life on 3,000 plus cases of reincarnation, and he has proven those, and he has published so many papers and so many books he has written. I'll show you some books also. Once what happened, there is a very very famous case. You can search it on YouTube also. Sorry, on Google and YouTube as well. So one person named Deep Kapadia. Have you heard him? Have you heard about him? Deep Kapadia? No. Okay. But it's a very very famous case study of reincarnation. So Deep Kapadia. Normally, how a reincarnation case is detected? Suddenly, what happens is at the very small age, the child, he starts behaving weirdly, and he starts speaking weirdly. Some weird things he'll start speaking. For example, in this case of Deep Kapadia, so he was a student of arts at Ruparel College in Mumbai. Now, currently in his current life, he's in Mumbai. And then at the age of 3.5 years, he started speaking Marwari. He was born in Mumbai in this life, the current life. He was a Marathi. Suddenly started speaking Marwari. Now the parents were bewildered. अच्छा अगर मैं ऐसा होगा घर में ऐसे कोई suddenly ऐसे मारवाड़ी बोलना स्टार्ट हो गया क्या कर रहे हो है parents were going mad that how come this my child is speaking Marwadi. We have never entered the boundaries of Rajasthan also. How come Marwadi came into picture? कुछ ऐसे कुछ YouTube देख रहे हैं आजकल होता है ना secretly even 3 years old kids are never they cannot stay without YouTube. So maybe उन्होंने check किया कि ऐसे but इनका birth हुआ था 1979 में. So no question of YouTube. No question of TV and all. Nothing was there in the house also. But he started speaking Marwadi, and then what he told is, "You are not my parents. My parents are in Udaipur." He started speaking that. Now, 3.5 years old child, how can he tell that my parents are in Udaipur? And then he told that, my child is also there. Okay, I'll tell you about that. That's a very famous thing. Sorry, very interesting thing. So parents were worried. They tried all medicines and nothing was working out. Then finally somebody suggested that Dr. Ian Stevenson, they were a very nice team. And they go through so many reincarnation studies. Let's invite them. So they invited in Mumbai. Okay. And even his interview happened in ISKCON also. He spoke. And what happened is very interestingly, when he was studying, right? So one ISKCON devotee went there in his college, and he was giving one course was going on in his college, Journey of Self-Discovery. During that course, he stood up, and he actually revealed his story. Everybody was shocked there, and he actually was called in ISKCON also for the interview. So then, and his reincarnation case study happened with Dr. Ian Stevenson. So at the age of 3.5 years, when he was a kid, that time they called the doctors, they called that team, and then they came. There were Dr. Ian Stevenson and the whole team. So they told that let's go to Udaipur. So they told that let's go for a picnic. Let's go for a nice tour to Rajasthan. They didn't tell that we are going to Udaipur, okay? Just Rajasthan. So they went on a train and then they left from Mumbai. Now, as soon as Rajasthan came, one station before Udaipur, he told, next station is Udaipur. Now, these people were completely shocked. How come he know? He knows. We never came to Udaipur. We never came to Rajasthan. How come he knows the next station is Udaipur? Very interesting. And then finally, when Udaipur came, he was very happy. And then he got down from the train. He directed the whole team, the parents also, the current parent, that let me take you to my home. He was telling that my home is in Udaipur, Udaipur. So let me take you to my home. And he very happily went. And then beach mein, Raju, sab theek thak hai na? So he was taking names also of people during that journey. He took them to his house, the previous house actually. And then as soon as he knocked the door, the door opened, and a 32-year-old person, the adult, he opened the door. Okay. Now this Deep, who was a child, 3.5 years old child, he embraced that 32 years old person. Now what he told, my son, how are you? You have grown up so much. How are you? He was asking like this. Kaise ho? How are you? He just embraced a small child. He embraced the 32-year-old. He was telling that he's my son. Everybody was shocked, right? So that's how. And then he also told many, many secrets about, one, I think one pistol was kept in one of the drawers, in one of the safes in his house, which only I think his brother knew and he knew. One of the family members knew and he knew. And then he actually went and directed that here is a pistol. And it was actually kept. Now let me tell you the background of Deep. In the last life, he was Panna Lal Agarwal. That was the name of this Deep Kapadia, this person. In the last life. He was Panna Lal Agarwal in Rajasthan, Udaipur, and he was a chief security officer there in Udaipur Palace. Okay. Now he told that I was a chief security officer also. I mean, he told, and he took them to, and he told so many secrets about Udaipur Palace also. There are these secrets, these things are kept here and there and all those things. Now, how can a person tell this? They were shocked, and this was proved that it's a reincarnation case. There's so many cases which are proved by even the foreign scientists. Forget about in India, they are doing that. So like that, it was a very very nice case study, and it was published in the paper also. Very famous in the newspaper also. It came. You can see. So like that. So this is about reincarnation. So now we can ask this question, right? Where is the memory stored? Where is the memory stored? Mind, okay. Or in more from the session, what can we say? There are two bodies, subtle and gross. Where the memory is stored? Subtle. Why not gross? From the last, why not gross? Why the memory is not stored in the gross body? Sorry. Gross is left behind. See, if the gross body is left behind at the time of death, and the soul and subtle body move to the new body, how can a person still remember? It's not possible. So it's very logical, right? So that's why the memory is stored in the subtle body. Very clear. Very simple common sense. Common sense and facts, based on facts, right? That because my subtle body comprises of mind, intelligence, false ego. So there only this body, the memory will be stored. So, and the subtle body moves to the next body as it is, no change. So this is it. And how many? Let me ask you this question: How many of you want to remember your past life? Oh my God! Let me ask you this question. Okay, there are so many things like phobias. How many of you are fearful of height? ऐसे ऐसे पैर कांपते हैं ऐसे हाइट पे जाने से. Actually, I also have it. पता नहीं लास्ट लाइफ में शायद गिर के मरा था. Somebody. Actually, what happens with me when I go to a very tall building, and when I go to the terrace and look down, I feel very fearful. And first I see behind, कोई है तो नहीं. Somebody may push me, right? And I may go down. So actually I have that fear that somebody may push me. So I first see behind and then see down. And while looking down also, I feel very fearful. My heart beats. Once I was doing I was giving SSB for Navy, actually Indian Navy in Visakhapatnam. So I went for that. So I was first having training for that in Chandigarh. So during the training, that was the toughest part for me. We have to climb, one ladder will be there, and we have to climb and then go there. Again, there will be small ladder and very, very narrow. और वहाँ पे चलने में भी इतना डर लग रहा था, एंड माई एक्चुअली माई लेग्स वर shaking, and the what to say, the people actually observed that, the team, they observed that whether the person has phobia of height or not, because army and all, it'll be very very tough otherwise. So some people have that phobia. Some people have naturally that phobia of, I don't want to stay alone. As a closed, how many of you have that fear that अगर बहुत closed room होता है, some closed room, I cannot stay, huh? Right? Some people have phobia of water. Okay. How come is this happening? From the childhood only we have these. Childhood. किसी ने ऐसे डाला है क्या, ऐसे सिस्टम में ऐसे खोला, एंड देन इंस्टॉल करके ऐसे प्रोग्राम ऐसे बर्न कर दिया, फिर नाउ यू जस्ट एक्ट, हैव द फियर, ऐसा तो नहीं होता हुआ. वी हैव द फोबिया फ्रॉम द चाइल्डहुड ओनली, फ्रॉम द वेरी बर्थ. हाउ कम? बिकॉज ऑफ ग्रॉस और सटल बॉडी. Subtle body, because subtle body moves as it is. Now do you agree? Now do you understand this? Have you ever thought about like this, all these things? And how come phobias are there? How come fears are there? How come talents are there? From the very childhood, a person knows how to play kartal. A child knows. Sometimes we have seen actually in our ISKCON temples also. Some children naturally they pick up kartal, they play. They've not, never nobody taught them. How come? Oh. Huh? Again, technically we have to understand. So technically, the subtle body is moving from the previous life to the next life. Previous life में हो सकता है he must have practiced. Now the same memory is there, huh? Same talent is there, and he's continuing that. Same phobias are there. So that's the, see, nobody, have you ever thought about these things? क्यों phobia होता है? क्यों talents from the birth there are so many talents? How come these happen? Right? So this is from Bhagavad Gita. This is how Bhagavad Gita, enlightens us. Bhagavad Gita. Now we are just discussing one verse, and we are going deep and deep and deep. Just imagine how what will happen if we go and we start discussing all the 700 verses. This is how Bhagavad Gita is. It's a life manual. It enlightens us. It talks about how to live our life. First of all, we understand about the reality, and we actually live in the reality, and how to lead our life. So it's a life manual. So let's take benefit of these sessions. Finally, these are many, many books about reincarnation and all. There's something called, see, we can see Dr. Ian Stevenson also. The middle one, right? Why, what is that? Where reincarnation and biology intersect. So many books he has written. Children Who Remember Previous Lives, Dr. Ian Stevenson, MD, right? So many books, and other people also have written. And finally, we come to the last part of this session, the near-death experience. Or there is a small video. Now, sometimes it may happen that there are so many cases in this also. This person, Dr. Michael Sabon, again, he was a cardiologist and professor of cardiology at Emory University. So he has studied, like Ian Stevenson, he has studied NDE cases, near-death experience cases, that a person actually could see that my operation is happening. Once operation was happening of an ISKCON sannyasi, and when the operation got completed, he gave a tight slap on the face of doctor. He told, uh, "How can you talk about baseball when you're doing the operation?" Now this person was given anesthesia. How come he knows? Right? So actually, it may happen. A person, the soul can actually experience the near-death experience. That he can come out of the body also, and then see the body lying there. Huh? Again, enter into the body. Out of body experience or near-death experience. Many cases. There's a small video. Maybe due to time constraint, will not go into that. Okay, let me play. It's a small video.
In German, prestigious doctors are also losing her battle. Her heart will not restart. She has just minutes before her brain too shuts down. So, if you belong to trying to jumpstart her heart with the different.
Can we put mic? Jagdish, okay? Can we put mic?
Several drugs.
We can put mic on that.
The patient had lost too much blood. Her organs weren't getting it. Really didn't think he could save her. because Christina's heart is so pumping. Many would consider her dead. Yet something seems to be happening with her mind.
Das nächste, was ich wieder weiß, ist, ja, dass ich wohl unter der
Next thing I know, I was hovering underneath the ceiling of the room. I could see down on myself laying on the operating table. And I saw the surgeons and heard them talking to each other. The scenario was pretty hectic. I realized that this was about life or death.
To help understand near-death experiences, some researchers focus on the content of these episodes.
A common element that occurs early in near-death experiences is what's called an out-of-body experience. At that time, the person seems to be able to see and hear things going on, but up from the vantage point above their body.
So person is able to see from above the body that my body is lying there. This is out of body experience. No? It comes out of body. Otherwise, how is it possible? So that's how there are so many cases like this, so many studies. So finally, we come to the last part of this verse, and we'll end here. So dhiras tatrana muhyati. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Which change? The soul is there in the present body. The body is continuously changing from boyhood to youthhood to old age. And now at the time of death, the soul actually leaves the body. Now it's a new body, and soul enters into the new body. So by all these changes, the same soul, when we understand that I am soul, I'm not this body, it's just change in the body. Now, when a person understands this, can you imagine this person will be really, really stable. He'll never be bewildered by anything in life. So actually, this helped me a lot in my spiritual journey. When I was in my college days, and something happened. My father actually got a heart attack, and he left the body. He left suddenly. I was first year of engineering, and that time, obviously, it happened that when I started searching for so many answers in life, and somehow one is gone. So many things I was searching for, and crazily, that still I remember that first year of my engineering. It was very crazy. I was not, I will just get lost. The whole world let the whole world get lost. I just want to understand the answers to these questions which I have. So I was just searching, and then one ISKCON devotee met me, one senior, and we used to have discussions. When he told me that day that we never die, we never die, and that's what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. We never die. It's just a change. Death is just a change. Then I realized that my father is also not died. He's still there. He's still there. He's still existing. I used to ask this question, where is my father now? What will happen to me after death? And this is the answer. We will never die. We will never cease to exist because we are the spirit souls. Now it's a matter of realization. Realization is not easy. Huh? Now we are so much concerned about the body, mine, my laptop, my car, my job. We are attached to the body. But as soon as we start realizing that I'm not this body, I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. Even though death may come, but it's just a change. I'll get new body. What's a big deal? Now this realization makes a person really stable. And that's real stability. That's real stability. That's why it is very important to practice spirituality and read Bhagavad Gita. If we don't read Bhagavad Gita, we'll never come to know about this, and we'll never get realization. Forget about theoretical understanding, realization will never come. It's very, very important. So we are not the human beings. We are with spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings. We are spirit souls, but with human experience currently, temporarily. We are in the human body, but we are spirit souls. And that's why practical benefits of spiritual realizations are. And what are the benefits of spiritual realization? Someone may ask. So universal brotherhood. When a person actually realizes he grows in spirituality, he will naturally, that will be the real brotherhood. He'll come up with this. Actually, he'll understand that everybody is a spirit soul. Now there may be different bodies, there may be differences based on the bodily levels, on the bodily level, but we all are spirit souls. We are all same at the level of soul. We are all spiritual beings. So let's not distinguish. Let's not differentiate. Somebody may be black, somebody may be white, somebody may be this, somebody may be poor, somebody may be rich, Somebody may be Marwadi, somebody may be Indian, Chinese, Japanese, it doesn't matter. Everybody is a spiritual being. Everybody is a spirit soul. This understanding will help us to uplift our consciousness. Hmm? Similarly, rising above inferiority complex. Sometimes we may feel that, oh, this person is telling me like this, I feel low. But this will help us to uplift our consciousness again. I'm not this body. It's okay. It's telling about something of about my body. It's okay. Some aspect connected to my body. Anyways, that is temporary. Let me not get affected. That's what will happen. Positive outlook and attitude towards life. You know, instead of exploiting, we'll start helping others because now our consciousness is uplifted, right? So we'll start helping others because everybody is a spirit soul, part and parcel of the same supreme person. Mhm. And finally, we'll be having right use of resources. Will not exploit others, right? That's the thing. So that's why we always. Okay, this one's. So spiritual activities are very, very important. And we say don't starve the spirit soul. We may be taking care of the body very, very nicely, our mind very nicely. But what about the bird which is there inside the cage? We may be decorating the cage. Cage is looking very nice. But what about the bird inside the cage? That bird is the spirit soul. Let's feed the spirit soul. Let's feed the bird also. Otherwise, bird will die. The soul will die. So that's why spiritual activities will feed the spirit soul. And the bird will be alive inside the cage. Cage is the body. Okay, so mantra meditation every single day, which we'll be doing now. Then studying Bhagavad Gita, hearing from Bhagavad Gita like this. And then finally, association of like minded spiritualists. Very, very important. If association is not, some people ask, link bhej doge kya? That will not work. Obviously, link online, we may watch the sessions, but how long it will work? We have to come in the association physically. Very, very important. So please come regularly. And we are very happy that you're coming regularly and taking interest in spiritual activities. So we'll be going for mantra meditation now. And so maybe you can, okay, once 5 minutes we'll take the question and answers, then we'll go for mantra meditation. So you can raise your hands. Yeah. Mic, we can give. Mic, Jagdish. Maybe you can ask as well.
Why don't I remember my previous one?
Why don't I remember my previous birth? I was expecting this question. Very, very nice. Very interesting question. Very intelligent question also. What's your good name? Piyush. Okay. So Piyush is asking, why I don't remember my previous birth? Deep Kapadia is remembering, na? He was Pannalal Agarwal, this and that, Udaipur Palace. But why I don't remember? It's a mercy of the Lord. It is also mentioned in the scriptures that at the time of death, actually the most of the memories of the previous lives are, what to say, we can say erased, or they go down very, very in our subconscious mind. They go down so deep that we don't really, it doesn't come in the conscious mind. So that's the thing, or we can say erased also in one way. So there's a mercy of the Lord. Now, if you start remembering your previous lives, sometimes in some cases it may happen because of lot of attachment. If let's say a person really has attachment to his home and he dies, or some personality in his current life and dies. So it may have, we'll discuss in our karma session also, the next session. So we'll discuss that. That will also decide what next body we will get. And sometimes if there is so much strong attachment, there will be some traces of remembrance. इतना ज़्यादा attachment अब क्या करेंगे हम? लेकिन the Lord says, okay, you have some remembrance, no problem. You have so much attachment. But most of the cases, generally, we don't remember because it's a mercy of the Lord. If you start remembering, let's say I died by, just suppose, मुझे नहीं पता, I don't remember, the mercy of the Lord. Let's say I just died by falling down from a building. Now, if I start remembering again and again, every day it comes to my mind, pops up. How will I be able to focus when I'm coding? ऐसे मैं लिख रहा हूँ और ऐसे ऊपर से, it's very difficult to live peacefully in this life. So the Lord mercifully erases. And that comes in the Shastra. Okay, any other question? Yeah.
So you said this first one you take earth, water, fire.
Yes.
So these are part of
Earth, water, fire, air, ether, and even mind, intelligence. Okay, gross body 5. 5.
how it is like our
Huh.
Like how these are like part of body.
No, it's this body. Okay, we are asking. So basically, this body,
Yeah.
which we are seeing currently, which I'm able to touch now, the skin and all those things. This is gross body. The bones and muscles and blood and stool and urine and all those things. This is gross body. And you see, everything will be made of the proportions of these 5 elements. Sometimes the earth element will be more, water element will be more, fire element will be low, ether will be less. Sometimes the fire element will be very strong. Like in the stomach, fire element is very strong. And that's how we're able to digest. So everywhere in the body, there are combinations of these 5 elements. So this is the gross body, which we have, made up of 5 elements. Gross. Okay. Okay. Any other question?
Like, is this like whatever? Is it a soul or a spirit soul? Whatever.
Same thing. Spirit, soul, or soul. Which
Sorry, spiritual soul.
spiritual soul.
Huh.
Spirit, soul, spiritual soul, soul. Same. And these are terminologies.
No, spiritual means when you say like the devotion, all this will come.
Okay, we'll discuss someday. Like we have elements at the level of spirit also. There are some spiritual elements also, which the soul is made up of. We'll discuss later. Maybe this is out of scope of this session. Like we have gross elements, some similarly we have material elements. We have spiritual elements also, where of which the soul comprises of. So we'll see in the next few sessions. Yeah.
So you said like we should be identifying the temporary things are not permanent. Like when you identify the temporary things and permanent things, so that's where like you will stop worrying. So it means like everything whatever is happening is like material. So it's like we shouldn't worry at all.
Okay. Yes, we should not worry, right? Now, what is your question exactly? Like, we should not worry. So, how will we move in life? Or,
Yeah, how we will be like. So some or other point we will be worrying. Like, so it is like health situation. Some attachments like we
yes.
can't say like okay no if something is other it's happening. No, so the like it's like anyway it's like
No,
not,
no, no.
no that way we will not.
No, that way we'll not think. See, when we when we progress in spiritual life, when we understand these things, that this thing is temporary, this thing is permanent, then at least what will happen is will not be affected by it. That's what we mean. We mean here. Will not be affected by it. Even though a situation has come, will act positively. See, a spiritualist is not a lazy person. He will do his duties very, very nicely. So we're also discussing with one person yesterday that a spiritualist will not be a lazy person. He'll not be careless. He'll be carefree. There's a difference between careless and carefree. Careless matlab the job is there, the task is there in front of me, I'm not doing. It is giving me tension, still I'm not doing. That is careless. And that is ignorance. But actually carefree, what carefree means is I'm giving my 100%, but I'm not bothered about the results. Although I have the goal to achieve that. Result may come or may not come. Okay, if the result comes, it's good. I'll move ahead. If the result comes, no problem, but still I'll move ahead. I'll set new goals, I'll move ahead. So I'll be moving ahead and ahead and ahead. That's the consciousness. So we'll not be worrying, we'll not get affected by the situations, but we'll not stop also. That's the thing. That's what a spiritual consciousness is all about. Hmm? Because if we start worrying and we stop acting, that's ignorance. If we stop executing our duties, that is ignorance. And Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita also, then we'll not be able to even maintain our body. We have to work to maintain our body also. Right? So we cannot stop our activities or something. We'll not get affected. Yeah, one last question maybe. Yes. Then we can ask maybe later after the kirtan. So we can ask.
So my question is, one spirit leaves one gross body and enters another gross body. In that case, the total population should be same, but that's not true, right?
Okay. It's a very trivial question. सेम क्वेश्चन अच्छा अच्छा आप दोनों ट्वेन वो मतलब क्या थोड़ा सा कुछ कनेक्शन है क्या स्पिरिचुअल या सटल कनेक्शन है क्या तो माइंड रीड कर लिया हमने हाँ पिछले जन्म में ही हैड अंडरस्टूड द सेशन टुडे ओके सो okay you are saying that the soul is leaving this body, let's say the body A, gross body.
The question is like, energy is not getting created, nor it is getting destroyed.
Okay.
It is there only.
That's on this material platform only.
In the term of material also, in the term of real world energy also, it's the same only. Like soul is also as considered as a part of energy, right?
It's an energy, but it's a spiritual energy. We saw.
So it is not getting created, nor it is getting destroyed. So,
Huh.
so population should be a kind of same only, but still it is increasing. As it is said in Bhagavad Gita, it is 84 lakh species.
Yes.
So population should be about 84 million or billion something like that. But it should be 84 only. But it is increasing.
These are species, no? These are species. Now, one species may have, let's say, in 84 lakh species, this is one species. One species may have any number of bodies, no? Any number of individuals having that, belonging to that species. That can change.
Population should be same.
Of the souls, you're saying?
Of the body. One body is getting destroyed, another body is getting created, and the same energy is getting transferred.
Yes, same soul is getting.
Same.
So actually, this is a little advanced question. So we'll be discussing in our further sessions. You know, maybe others may not be able to understand that. Because we have just discussed now the basics, right? That material elements, spiritual elements, not even spiritual elements, the spiritual energy and material energy. So you can keep on coming. We'll discuss. You will get answer to this question. That how come the population is changing, or it's same, or souls are getting created or not getting created.
Animals population has destroyed, so we are getting.
Yeah. So in karma session we'll discuss that according to the karma one may get different body also. It's not that we'll get human body only. We may get a dog body also according to our activities.
My body is increasing.
It may happen. What's a big deal? No worries. Because if the pure souls are coming, it's okay. What's your problem? Just kidding.
Saying that there are some souls who never get a body also.
No. Everybody has some body. Everybody will be having a body, one body or not. There's something called there's one aspect of suicides also, ghosts. That is also there. We'll discuss someday later. Very interesting. Okay, maybe at the time of Prasad we'll discuss.
Cell has soul.
Cell has also soul. Yeah, amoeba is also soul. Single cell animal, no? There's soul inside. Plants also have souls. Every living being is a soul. That's understanding.
Souls created by God.
Again, the same question, no? Is new soul getting created, or souls are fixed and just bodies are changing? These are some advanced questions. We'll deal with those questions in the next few sessions or in the advanced sessions. Okay, we'll stop here.